So hello everybody and welcome back to a new Forts episode. And so I'm going to today be building the courtyard, which I have been itching to do for a long time now. Let me tell you guys, I've been waiting very impatiently to do this, and there are some parts of the time lapse that will be like cut out because I went back to my design world to just double check the design, make sure I got everything right. Since it is it's a pretty simple design, but you have to know what you're like doing to get it right. Like I'm going to have two big trees with draping leaves, and it's going to look so cool. But I'm just going to update you guys on kind of what I did in the 2 episodes that kind of corrupted. So I made the windmill better. Oof. Um, yeah, I kind of upgraded the windmill, and that's probably the biggest thing that I've done. I've added string to the windmill, actually. I put string on it because it was snowing, and I also put string here just because it looks a lot nicer without the snow, for me at least. Because, snow starts at about here, and so, when the snow starts at about here, you just can't, like, so I was very lucky since this is below, like, the snowing height, so when it snows, it isn't too big of a problem. Except for over here, that's when it kind of gets to be a problem as well, which is, well, I've got string here, of course, and so I haven't designed this, actually. That's my biggest pet peeve. I need to design that. But I really don't want to because of the Windows elaborateness, and I've got to copy it all over again. The designing is very hard work. So I have designed a whole bunch of stuff for forts, and I'm 100% ready to dive in head first and do this all. But I need the courtyard first, because I really just will make sure it's all ahead of time. And so here we have one of my random dogs. I don't have a name for this one yet. It isn't Mr. Gryffindor or Mr. Ravenclaw or whatever. Yeah. I have my sheep there for the Quidditch pitch. Here, this takes Slytherin. Slytherin's more elegant than you, mister. Well, I'm not using Dolores Umbridge, though. Okay. So, I'm naming them after Harry Potter characters, of course. So yeah, I have all these in. I have my expanded plot, which comes in very handy a lot. Especially when you're like over here, and it comes in really handy, and it's really nice as well. Like if I need some extra emeralds, I just come down here, pluck a few, and then I replant, and I go back up, and I sell them. Yeah, it's a pretty simple design. And I kind of kept to the simplicity of it all just because it's a lot easier and more organized that way. But this is probably going to be one of my fewest recorded episodes since school is starting up again, and I'm going to be really busy. Oh, shoot! Creeper. 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 Where's my bow? Oh, and my dogs also affect my frame rate a lot. So I'm just going to grab a couple of them and then grab my bow. So, these are unnamed, right? Now, I'm always a little bit worried about lighting, so that's something I'm going to do after I kill this creeper that I don't know where it is, and it's scaring me a little bit. Okay, there. Okay, good. Now I can just collect all my misfires. And a creeper head as well, which is always nice. But yeah, so probably the next thing I'm going to do right now is going to be build the courtyard, which I want to do so badly. I love this courtyard design. I've been working on it forever, and it was a little bit twitchy at first, and I've had it ready for a little while now, but it's always nice. I'll just keep my creeper heads in there. What do I have? Yeah, I have another one in here. My ender chest is getting pretty full as well, so I need to get my storage system so that I can do it. I still have my secret storage system, actually, my extra secret one, since Starlight found my secret one, which is not my super small server, which I also have plans for. I want to put some animals in there and start slaying them, maybe put the sheep in for shearing, but I upgraded my system from back then to this. So here are the slaying rooms, of course. And let's put a couple dogs here. And then I left this, and then I built this in here, which I'm not really hiding too much. It's just a habit to have crazy stuff in there all the time. Come on. Oh, he'll get to me somehow. But of course, Starlight has stolen quite a couple of things after episode 10, so she actually stole the dragon head from Gryffindor Tower. She broke in through the roof and took the piece of dark oak with her. Oh my goodness, my pet peeve is that dark oak right now. Like, so, I still want to replace it, but like, it's so hard with the barriers, and it's just... So of course here we have all the banners and the little room here and the fire, which is on netherrack so it can't spread. But my pet peeve is that piece of dark oak that the head was covering. And so I need to put a piece of dark oak there, else I'm gonna get angry with myself. So now, in today's episode, I'm hoping to accomplish a lot, which is a pretty tall order for myself, depending on how long I want the episode to be. So, I am going to get all my stuff for the time-lapse ready, since I don't know how long this is going to take me. It might take me an hour or two, because I'm going to have to jump back and forth to make sure I'm getting everything right. Yeah, and I have all of this designed except for like the hallways and the hallway rooms. That isn't designed in the Great Hall. But I have everything else designed, and so it's all like, oh, I just want to go there. I just want to go and get it done. Which I designed in a very odd way, which I regret a lot. And so I'm really hoping to find out what I want to use for the floors here as well. Which it might be I might just be like plain stone, which would be fine with me. I just want to know. Of course. No. Oh, I might put carpets in the hallways up there just because it's stone bricks already. I might make this stone bricks as well. I don't know. But yeah, this wall is very odd. I'll get that fixed sooner or later. But right now, my main priority is to get this done, which is what I'm going to be doing next. So, after I sleep, let's go into a time lapse. Okay, so here we are going to start breaking up the blocks here for some cyan terracotta to outline the stone paths. Though it does take me a little bit. See, I got my little terracotta there, and this shovel annoys me very badly whenever I'm doing this, because it always sets up the paths right next to where I'm placing these blocks. And while building this, I did, do a lot of traveling, and, I'm typing in here coordinates to, my plains biome that I'm going to for some more clay, because that's how I got terracotta. Because currently I have no mesa, and I searched very long and hard for this mesa just to be able to do this project, and I ended up taking Somebody I know's idea, somebody recommended to me, why don't you just use clay and not go looking for a badlands so long. And then I'm just teleporting back, running around a little bit because I need to smelt this stuff, and then I'm gonna need some cyan dye afterwards. So I let my super smelter smelt. I'm going to go place the stone down just to get more cyan terracotta since I didn't have enough after I thought. And I'm just placing the stone down here for the paths, which I did decide actually to put stone in the paths a little later after this. Not in this episode, no, that's like episodes far ahead. So I'm not planning on doing that anytime soon, and I pretty much decided I'm gonna do that. And now I'm just waiting to build some cyan terracotta currently, and just kind of doing it the slow way since it just goes through so quickly. Because back then I didn't know a little hack you can do with your keyboard where you can just do that a lot easier. And then the zombie attacked me, and I dropped my stupid shovel since my shovel is very stupid. Now, this lighting is fixed in my new design with some nice daylight generated lamps. You put daylight sensor on top of a redstone lamp, and you can put pretty much anything under it, and then you have your very own night or day activated lamp, depends on what you put the sensor onto. And I decided to do this in intervals, just kind of slowly going around. And it's a little bit hard to see, but I've kind of made a circle design here, and I'm trying to remember how I exactly did this in my design world while building this. I'm like running everywhere with my shulker boxes trying to remember what I did in the first place to build this, and I'm building more and more. And here I am, and you can see all the scaffolding I have, though I barely ever use it during this. And I consistently kept forgetting what I actually put there in my design world. So eventually I have to go back to my design world, but I cut that part out since it's very boring because you look at my design world, which is very trashy. Littered with all different kinds of designs that I don't know if I'm going to use. Yet again, we are not sure how much time left we have in this season, and I'm just kind of walking around, kind of trying to remember exactly what I did and how I'm going to execute this. So I just started making these big willow trees, which I was super excited to build these because I'm not very experienced with tree building currently, but I have been like super excited to do it. And then I was just kind of checking what I was going on since I had some photos, but those reference photos weren't enough, which is why sometimes I paused during the time lapse because I had reference photos and I was looking at those, but still I did not take photos of the most important parts. And so this was always very hard while building. I kept taking off and I was trying to land on top of the tree, but I never could actually do it. And so I pick up all my extra food I have stored over there just to keep me fed during this build, and I can't exactly remember how many monsters I encountered during this build. It wasn't many, but that's there's one, and I was slain by the Enderman. It's very sad sometimes how much you get slain by monsters, even though I have a netherite sword, which shows the tools are only as good as the people who use them. And I'm not very good at that kind of stuff, so that just shows that I'm bad at PvP. But yet again, it's player versus NPC, so you could call it PvNPC. Now I'm just making some more green wool for green carpets to act as leaves under these trees, which I do use very sparingly, but it's just kind of something that I like to kind of do. And now I'm looking at my reference photos again. I'm trying to remember exactly how I built that. And there we go. You can kind of see I'm building two trees, and I can't well, I know I designed them after willow trees, but they aren't like the weeping willow from Harry Potter, which I am a Harry Potter fanatic by heart. I have read all the books, watched all the movies. Though this courtyard did not take any influence from Harry Potter, I tried to make many of the builds kind of my own design, though I did take an approach to some of the books, since you never do see the Ravenclaw and Hufflepuff common room, so I just kind of took my approach of what they might look like. And especially like the Gryffindor common room, even though you did see it, I was just trying to make a kind of bedroom themed after it. So, that's why they aren't exactly like those, because I didn't want to copy. I wanted to try and find something of my own and inspire things upon it. And you can see there I'm building these little lanterns, and so I went back to check where these lanterns were actually. And so I chose this design just because I thought it went really well, and so you can see I went up and I put daylight centers on top of them. Well, not centers, sensors, and I set them to nighttime so that they go on at the night. And so yet again, I am looking at my reference photos during this clip, and you can see me gathering all these different materials that I have. And I really hope soon that I build my storage system, though I am still designing it at this point. Though I do very much like kind of what I think I'm going for, yet I don't know yet. So we are flying over to Starlight's base, and we are stealing some of her redstone. Which, since she's stolen things from me, I steal things from her. And there's a long list of lies Starlight has told to me that I have safely in my notebook. And so I'm just adding some greenery around and then checking the shape of these little rivers. I like these rivers just because it's pretty cool, and to tell you something, this is currently 1.16 Minecraft. So we don't have axolotls or even the new updates yet, not even spyglasses. Though in the future episodes we do upgrade to these, is just currently we are not upgrading to them. And at this point they did not even come out yet, just to let you know I am talking from the future where we have 1.17 and 1.18. So you can see I'm kind of making a river that goes under the bridge. And you can see I'm just kind of probably talking to myself a little bit, trying to remember how deep I was going and how to design these. And then the hardest part probably about building this river was I had to do this kind of perfectly, so because I had to have kind of a river feel to it, and it had to be like at one water level, and that was super hard while building. That was one of the biggest challenges I faced, having it all be flat while I was building. And you can see like me going in and taking out all the granite, since I don't like granite in my rivers. And so I do add some texturing later, especially in like 1.17 I add some texturing, and I put in some of the deep slate and all that good stuff. And you can see me here struggling to make it just flat, which eventually I give up because I'm like, well, I'm not going to spend all my time working on this one river. My original plan actually was to have a beacon in the middle. But then I trashed that plan because I was like, I'm not killing the wither yet. I'm not waiting to kill the wither. And there's just too much time in between now and when it was last happening. Okay, so we are back. My microphone malfunctioned a little bit while I was doing this voiceover, but yet again I broke that, and then, oh, here I go, and I placed more water in. Now luckily this one turned out a little better than the last one. You can't see it as much as last time, and I tried to do this, and I eventually evened that one out enough, kind of, and now I'm filling in the bottom here and just making it kind of perfect. And so now I can't put the beacon down there just because it's kind of like that. And you can see me texturing now. And in my original designs for this, I put deep slate in, and so the server hosting service, like I said before, we didn't have 1.17 and 1.18. At this point we did, they were out, but we could not upgrade the server just because of our server hosting site that we used. And you can see me currently, I'm texturing and adding in some more greenery. We are so close to the end of the build, yet we are not done yet. And so this weird transmission comes up, and we think it was something to do with like one of the plugins we added, but we're not sure. Yeah, because you can see there, it's just like, I don't know what that is. Me and Starlight never found out what that was. It was just a weird thing that happened while I was building, and it never happened again. So we don't know what will happen next. And I'm finishing up here by putting down some benches. And that's the nice little chair, breaking my bed, and then putting everything back. And now we are all done with the courtyard, and I'm super happy to just get that over with. So now that we're done with that quick time lapse, which you saw that weird transmission, I think it's actually something that Minehut's doing. Yeah, we use Minehut for our servers, so it's something our server host is starting at, and it was a weird thing. Whatever. Now, so we are back, and I did take a little break in between the end of the time lapse and now, just because that time lapse took like about an hour to build all that, which people have built more, but an hour is pretty long for me currently. I get bored pretty easily. So, now we have our beautiful courtyard that we will be able to walk through. And in the future, I'm hoping to get a beacon down there. But for now, I'm just going to leave it blank. Over here is where the entrance to the basement will be. And I need to get some cobbled deep slate to finish it off. Make the texturing, add little touches of dark. And of course, down here, we just have our little areas. And our daylight detectors set tonight, and redstone lamps. I decided to use a little bit of redstone for my lighting solutions. So I'm going to be taking out all the torches, since at night those will go on and I don't have to worry about it. And I probably should have done this ahead of time, like picking up the torches, but I didn't because I was stupid. So yeah. Now I'm going to pick up all the torches and make sure that everything's all good. I'm actually going to keep one nestled in the tree there, just in case of any mobs wanting to spawn there. I'm never too precautious with this, because monsters actually are spawning in the hallways, and a creeper actually blew up this little area over here. Before I put those in, I just had to go get more materials after the creeper blew it up. But now that I've gone around, picked up all the placed down torches, that some of them I already picked up, but now we have a nice finished courtyard, which is so exciting because I can now do this. Yay! I can land in the water instead of face planting in the grass. So I did in each corner just so that it has a little river, and that's where the entrance to the basement is actually going to be. I'm not going to keep my storage system a secret necessarily. I am going to put in a lock system. And I'm also going to write the book of Rubixian Castle, stating all the laws and rules that you must follow in the Rubixian Castle. Now, it's common courtesy in Minecraft not to break down the door. An iron door, it's like common courtesy. So don't think I haven't thought of like Starlight breaking down the door. She will be able to break down the door with this, so I'm kind of trying to figure out what exactly to do in my design world because of the design of the storage room, which it's huge, by the way. Like, I'm going to have to go to the nether for days getting some of the materials, which will be a pain in the butt, but let's hope it pays off, because I have a huge design and I'm going to have a bunch of chests there, and so I'm hoping that works out. So let's grab some of this. Wait, don't I? I have a book here. All I need is an ink sac and a quill. So I do have squids somewhere. So feather. Do I have an ink sac anywhere? I think I might turn them all black dye and use them. If so, I believe I have some here. Yeah, this is like the squid farm. I can go here and just do whatever I need. Yeah. Yeah, so landing. Okay, now that I have a book and quote, I'm going to quickly probably turn this into a time lapse. Wow. Okay, so now we have written the book of Rubixwarts, and that is a great accomplishment, mostly because we are going to have this copied. And then placed on multiple lecterns. So I'm just not teleporting because it's a lot easier for me to do this. Now, yet again, there are probably some decoys around of my digging for sand at certain times. So, yes, here, okay. And now, I need to MLG. Yeah, I just don't want to put on my book. And in the castle, you are only allowed to carry 32 rockets in hand, because I just don't want us all going off with a bang. And I have plans for outer areas like this. I need to find my coordinates for my library. So 2626 slash TP 262 43 6. Okay. So yet again, I don't know how many of these I've broken yet. Okay, so I broke down these. Okay, so I'll break those. Yeah, so Starlight broke in there. Yeah, so it's just a little bit annoying. Yeah, and the laws of Rubixwarts don't apply there when getting out. Doesn't work anymore, does it? Okay. Placed on that block instead of that block. Okay. Haha. I put protections up here, but now it's just the portal to the end, which means Starlight upgraded actually. So I just came in for this for electrons. So can I copy this? How do I copy this? I don't know how to copy it. I'll figure it out, guys. So I'm so excited about this. Every time I walk in, I'm like, oh my goodness, I love this. So I'm really excited about next episode, since we are probably going to be starting on the basement. But that will probably be a little while from when I'm recording this episode, because of everything happening right now. For me, it's just a little bit hard for me to record on top of everything. Oh, gotta make bookshelves. So, on top of everything, it's just a little bit hard for me to record right now. So, I'm really excited about what I can do in the future and what I'm planning on doing. So I hope you guys will really like like the older episodes, since I personally liked making them a lot. So Oh, it's always good to just have a little bit of fun when you're doing it. Buttons. So, I'm really excited about what I'm going to continue doing next and in the future. So, I will see you guys next time.